WRESTLEMANIA! Yes. Hello, folks. This is shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you yet another wrestling review. I'm, of course, joined by my faithful cohort and partner in crime, Joe. Say hi, Joe. He had too much to drink tonight. Yes, Sunday night. And you know what that means. It's time for a pay-per-view review. It's not just any pay-per-view review tonight. It's WrestleMania. That's right. WrestleMania 27, live from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia. The biggest spectacle in professional wrestling. But how does it match up? Did it live to the hype? Did somebody fuck up? Well, hold on. Got my notes and a few notes from my best friend Izzy, who was watching with me. So let's do it. The show starts off with, of course, The Rock coming out and being his electrifying self, and Atlanta is loving The Rock, and he looked very good out there. He cuts his usual Rock lines, and of course, and of course, the crowd is against Cena, even though he hasn't said a damn thing about Cena. Even there were some people in the audience who did a Fruity Pebbles chant, and The Rock was just digging that. And he even got into it. He even worked with it and said, "When The Rock says yabba, you say dabba. Yabba." Joe said dabba. But anyway, this was an excellent way to start the show. It gave some kind of an epic feel to the whole event, and The Rock, of course, did his best to start the show off on a high note. So with that, on to the matches. First match, surprisingly enough, is the World Heavyweight Title match from SmackDown. Alberto Del Rio facing off against the champion Edge, with Brodus Clay and Christian in their corners respectively. Now, I was kind of surprised they would actually start off with a world title match, but this was a great way to start the show. Del Rio and Edge put on an excellent display. They both were in the zone that night. Tonight. Nothing much to say about it. It was a good match. It was a good match, good way to start off WrestleMania. There was a lot of high spots with Del Rio targeting Edge's injured shoulder. There was some action outside the ring between Christian and Brodus Clay. The end comes when somehow I think Edge was able to break out of the cross arm breaker, and it evolved into him getting in a spear. 1, 2, 3. Edge breaks the curse of. Well, they mentioned it before that they mentioned it sometime this night that every time for the last 3 times that Edge has entered WrestleMania as champion, he hasn't retained. This is his first time coming in as champion and retaining. After the match, he sees Alberto Del Rio's $100,000 car and decides to give it a little renovation. So he first kicks it in, and Del Rio is just like, "No, don't do it!" And then Christian comes out, but he's got something behind his back. What has he got? Why? A crowbar and a lead pipe. So these two went to town on Del Rio's car, destroying it. And Del Rio is crushed. He crushes the car. Is like, "No, I shall avenge you, my sweet weak." Overall, good way to start start WrestleMania. Let's see. The next match is the one I considered, that I said on the WrestleCast would be the sleeper of the night. Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio. Rey, of course, coming out to his Captain America outfit. And boy, did these two not disappoint. This was an awesome match. And Cody got some chance in between of it. He did an excellent job in his first singles match in WrestleMania. Which is more than you can say for Ted D.B. Blandness. Anyway, Rey pulled off some pretty good offense, but Cody seemed to have an answer for it. It was just he used the face mask, became integral. They told a good story. How that face mask became integral to Cody's offense, and he kept using it, and the ref, of course, allowing it because it protected his face. It's not considered a weapon. At one point, Cody takes off Ray's protective knee brace, throws it out of the ring. Then at another point, Ray takes off Cody's mask, and he actually uses it against him while wearing it, and the ref was allowing it. I mean, if Cody's legal can use it, he can do it as well. But at one point, he tells Ray to take the mask off and just throws it out of the ring. But Cody goes outside the ring, picks up the knee brace he was using, and as Ray went to go do one of his signature flying maneuvers, caught the knee brace in the face. The ref wasn't looking. Got back in the ring, crossroads for the win. And this was an excellent match for Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes and Ray told a good story, and I gotta give it up to Cody Rhodes for doing that delayed suplex off the turnbuckle. He held Ray up there for a good 20-25 seconds, and I was just amazed by Cody Rhodes. So Cody, you did your job. You gave us a great match. Kudos to you. Next up, we have a backstage segment. With Snoop Dogg and Teddy Long. He's trying to find some new people to go on with him with his rap tour, I guess. William Regal spit some good rhymes. Kali and Natalia tried to sing. Zack Ryder was singing until Roddy Piper hit him over the head with a coconut. Yes, you heard me. Then we had Hornswoggle. He was trying to rap, but unfortunately, Teddy told him that Hornswoggle doesn't talk much English. So they leave, but when they leave, Hornswoggle starts busting rhymes with the Bella Twins. But I gotta say, it was a pretty good rap, considering he was a midget. He was a leprechaun and all. Let's see. Next match, 8-man tag, The Core versus Big Show, Kane, Santino Marella, and for some reason, Kofi Kingston. I think Kozlov got taken out of the match. I don't know why. But this match doesn't even last that long. Not even 5 minutes. This was a straight squash match. And the Core got squashed. Heath Slater took a Cobra and then a knockout punch from the Big Show. Match over. What can I say? It was a squash match. And Core really didn't need this kind of match, especially at WrestleMania. But they did do better than Nexus, who didn't appear at all. So there's that. So overall, that match, that was a piss break match. You could skip it. Next up, there was some backstage. The Rock was backstage with Eve Torres talking about how he makes magic with anyone. So he's like, the next person that comes behind the corner, The Rock's gonna make a memorable moment with him. Just let me know. So she's like, there, and he looks behind and sees Mae Young, and Mae Young's going, I want some of The Rock's strudel. Hey, strudel? You want some of The Rock's strudel? The big fella? Well, are you sure you don't want some other strudel or something? It was a little interesting scene, and Eve escorts it away, and he's like, and he turns around and he's like, Rock's gonna need, it could have been anyone else. And he turns around, and it's Stone Cold. That's right. For the first time in over 6 years, the Great One and the Texas Rattlesnake on screen together at WrestleMania, and the crowd just goes apeshit, as is me and my friends, and they just stare each other down and like, what's up? What's up? Go kick that ass tonight. Damn right I will. They shake hands, and that was the end of that. Great little segment between those two. Next up, CM Punk versus Randy Orton. Now, a lot of people saying this wasn't going to be a good match. I liked it, and my friends liked it too, because there's some excellent psychology in this. Punk is destroying Randy Orton's injured leg, and Randy is basically fighting him off one-legged. And there were some painful moves on Punk's part. He was just doing some massive hurt. Even did a figure 4 in the ring post, and that was just hurt me to watch. At one point, he tried to go for the punt, but his leg gave out, and Punk took advantage, and he was about to get him when Randy pulled out an RKO, but Punk pushed him out of the way at the last second. That was a great little scene right there. Then he decides to jump on the ropes and finish him off, but Randy catches him with an RKO. 1, 2, 3. Orton wins. I like this match. Very good psychology, and both of them played to the hilt, and Randy really sold that leg injury. So there's that. Next up, Rock is backstage with Mean Gene Okerlund. Yes, he's still alive. And he says that tonight he's going to meet John Cena's biggest fan. Mean Gene tells him to look behind him. It's none other than Paul Reubens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman. Now, this is a great little scene right here. Now, if people say, if you got a problem with Paul Reubens, Pee Wee Herman, then you don't know what funny is. Because it was funny watching Pee Wee Herman and The Rock play off of each other. It's just this man-child and this great man, and you have to watch it for yourself. It's awesome. Very funny. Next up, they present the Hall of Fame class of 2011, which consists of Abdullah the Butcher, Sonny, the remaining Road Warriors, Animal and Paul Eiling, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Drew Carey, and of course Shawn Michaels. Great little class right there. Next up, we have the match everyone's been waiting for. Jerry the King Lawler versus Michael Cole. But so for this match, calling the commentating will be Booker T and JR. So Michael Cole comes out first, just healing it up for the crowd in a tacky ass orange outfit with the little head braces on. It was just, ugh. He looked all old and hunched over, just not pretty, and he was healing it up for the crowd. Then Jack Swagger comes out. He's healing it up too with a towel in his hand. He's doing his push-ups when Stone Cold comes out, driving a four-wheeler. And he almost runs down Jack Swagger. Cole is so pissed, frightened of it, that he hides in his coal mine. And he's like, "You don't need that. Why do you need that? Stop it." Then Jerry the King Lawler comes out, looking pretty pimpin', if I must say so myself. The match, Stone Cold starts the match by dropping an F-bomb. Yeah. And Cole will not leave his box. He's just doing workout and shit. And Swagger attacks Jerry the King Lawler. King takes out Swagger, and he turns his attention to Michael Cole. Cole's like, "Please, I'm sorry. Can't we just go back to being teammates? Come on, we're friends." And he sticks his hand in a little hole made in the coal mine and says, "Let's just be friends again." Jerry shakes his hand and just starts pulling on it, making him bang his head against the glass. And then Jerry jumps into the coal mine and he just starts laying into Michael Cole and just beating him like within an inch of his fucking life, and we are all enjoying it. He throws him back in the ring, but then Swagger attacks and puts the ankle lock on behind Stone Cold's back, and he throws him back in the ring, and Cole, of course, takes advantage by it, spends about 5-6 minutes just working on his leg, and the crowd is not feeling it because Cole should not be wrestling. They just start saying it was boring, but then at one point, Jerry Lawler gets the upper hand and just starts beating the piss out of him. And in the words of good old JR, stomping a mud hole in his ass. Then Jack Swagger throws in the towel, signifying that he wants the match to stop and give Cole the win. Give Jerry the King Lawler the win. That might have worked in a normal match, but this is a Stone Cold Steve Austin match. So Stone Cold's like, "Oh, thanks. I needed to wipe the sweat off me," and throws it back at Swagger. Swagger gets in the ring to protest. He eats a stunner. We all saw that coming. Then for the remainder of the match, Jerry just unleashes on Cole, and Cole did get in Stone Cold's face at one point. I think he even offered to suck his dick, I think. Oh well. So he is just getting his ass beaten to death by him. And then he hits his patented flying fist drop, goes for the pin, and he's like, "No, I want to do something else." So, and of course, I gotta give up to Stone Cold's very unbiased and fair officiating. He was a very fair. He ran a tight ship on that match. So anyway, King locks in the ankle lock, and Cole is tapping immediately. He is just banging on it, and Stone Cold gets in his face and says, "Do you give up?" He's like, "Yes, yes!" "What? Do you give up?" And everyone is just having a blast. I'm laughing my ass off, and he's like, "I think he gives up. Ring the bell." So the bell rings. Jerry the King Lawler wins, and Jack Swagger carries Jerry the King Lawler back. Carries Michael Cole back, looking very homo. So Stone Cold's getting beers thrown in the ring. He and the King are celebrating. Booker T slides in the ring. He wants some too, and he does a special WrestleMania spinneroonie for the pop of the crowd. He drinks and he eats a stunner. And while they're celebrating, the Raw GM chimes in. Josh reads, and he says that the GM says, because of Stone Cold's unprofessional behavior, Jerry the King Lawler was disqualified, and Michael Cole is the winner. Yeah, and the fans, as was myself, it was bullshit. I don't know what the fuck the WWE is going with this, but I don't like it. I mean, they finally gave us... It's not bad enough that you have to... It's going to go down in the record books that Michael Cole defeated Jerry the King Lawler, and... That's not right. I mean, look at here. Look, you see? See? Right here. Right here. See that W? That's what I originally wrote for the King winning the match against Cole. But that ending was so bad... I didn't even change it. As far as I'm concerned, Jerry Lawler won that match. Fuck what the GM says. Jerry Lawler won that match. But anyway, King is obviously upset. So he throws Josh in the ring, and he eats a stunner. Stone Cold, irate, gets more beer, and he drives off. I don't know what you were thinking, WWE, honestly. Next up, Triple H versus The Undertaker. I called it, and I'm saying it right now, match of the night. This was an epic showdown of two of the greatest in-ring competitors this business has ever seen. A lot of people were saying that it couldn't be as good as Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. I'd say it was a little bit better, because this wasn't a wrestling match. No, from the outset, this was a fight. This was nothing but a brawl between two old veterans. There were very few wrestling moves, and they just went all over. They just beat the ever-loving hell out of each other. But they were showing their age, because they were looking kind of wrecked before, not even 5 minutes into the match. But I blame that on the spots they were taking. I mean, the coal mine got destroyed early on in the match, and it was just a brutal, brutal match. Undertaker took some of the most hellacious punishment he has ever taken in a WrestleMania match. I mean, he took 3 pedigrees. 3. Still kicked out. Triple H went crazy and just laid him out with about a dozen or so chair shots. Didn't stop him. He even, I don't know how he was able to get away with it, but he got him with a straight chair shot to the head. Must be great being the son-in-law of the owner. That didn't stop him. And then Triple H does the unthinkable and hits the tombstone on The Undertaker. And we thought, oh my God, this is it. The streak's going to be over. He kicks out of that. But you could see Undertaker and Triple H was like, stay down. Why won't you stay down? Just die. What's wrong with you? And Undertaker just kept trying to get up, and then he goes into the ring, gets the sledgehammer. He goes for it, but then Hell's Gate out of nowhere. And Triple H lasted longest. He lasted longer than anyone has ever lasted in the Hell's Gate. He go for his sledgehammer to hit him, but he couldn't do it, and he eventually taps. And the Undertaker's streak goes to 19-0. But I really think this one took it out of him, because at the end of the match, Undertaker was not moving. And I'm saying this is legitimate, but I don't think this was kayfabe or anything, because even in his matches against against Shawn, he was exhausted, but he still was able to get up and walk out the ring. But now he was, I don't know what was wrong with him. Maybe he had a concussion. Maybe he was just damn tired or something. But he just couldn't get back up. Triple H eventually made it to his feet and was able to walk out under his own power, but the ref even had to call the trainer in, and they were taking his pulse, and Undertaker just looked completely spent, like he was at the edge of death or something. I don't know if this was kayfabe or not, but at the end they actually had to call a cart in, and they had to literally drive the Undertaker out. And at one point, when he tried to get back to his feet, he just stumbled and fell, and Triple H even wanted to go over and try to help him, but the ref waved him off and just said they didn't need it. And Triple H even looked a little concerned and worried for him, and he didn't look upset at the fact that he lost, but he just looked so concerned for the Undertaker, because he just never before in the history of WrestleMania had the Undertaker need to be carried out. He always walked out under his own power, but this is the first time I've ever seen the Undertaker look this legitimately weak and injured. So Mark, if you're out there, I hope you're okay. Prayers are with you from your hometown in Houston, Texas. So, but you got to give it up. They gave us an epic match for our money. Next up, it's the big triple threat to 8-person tag match or 6-person tag match. Dolph Ziggler and Lay Cool versus John Morrison, Trish Stratus, and Snooki. Now this was a short match. Nothing to cry home about. Neither Ziggler or Morrison got tagged in. But when Snooki got tagged in, she performed some backflips that I didn't think she could possibly do. I mean, she's not a slim girl, but for her to be able to do those kind of moves, it was pretty awesome. So, but oh yeah, my friend Izzy wrote in my notes right here that he wants to bang Snooki. See? He wants to bang Snooki. So if he wants to, go ahead. I don't mind, but I'd bang Snooki too. But 1, 2, 3, Snooki picks up the victory. Overall, short match, but it was what it was. And I was surprised by Snooki's athleticism, so there's that. Thumbs up for you, Snooki. You earned it. Last match. World title. Wait a minute. It's a world title match? What happened? That's right. They skipped a match. Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus for the United States Championship. What the fuck, WWE? Was it a dark match or something? Why didn't you have this match on? Somebody please tell me. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed a bit of news that I should have got somewhere along the line. Maybe Bryan had an injury. Maybe Sheamus had an injury or something. What? Why would they skip this match? I was looking forward to this match. This was Daniel Bryan's first WrestleMania. And they skipped it. I want answers, WWE. Somebody better give it. But yeah, last match, John Cena, Miz, for the WWE title. This was a terrible match. I didn't like it. I mean, it just seemed slow and uninteresting. And there was even one point that Cena botched. Well, how do you botch? And Cena's whole entrance into the match being sung by a choir, it didn't make sense to me. Like, why the fuck would you need a choir, Cena? What, you trying to be black or something? I don't know. I know you're trying to be black, but why would you need a gospel choir to sing you in? But anyway, the match goes on for a little while. Kudos to Miz for actually kicking out of the FU. They battle outside the ring where John Cena does his best Hacksaw Jim Duggan impression by doing a football three-quarter stance. And they end up getting counted out. The Miz retains. And then The Rock comes out. But before he could say anything, the Raw GM chimes in. He goes to the GM and he says, "May I have your attention, please? I've just received a message from the anonymous Raw GM. And I quote," I like that part, And he says that I think, as the Raw GM is like, I think, and The Rock's like, it doesn't matter what you think. Kicks the thing over and says, this match is restarting now, and it's going to be no countouts, no disqualifications, and you both get your little asses back in the ring, and you wrestle. So, Cena throws Miz back in the ring, and he's fighting with him. Then Rock slips back in the ring, gives him a rock bottom. Miz crawls over. 1, 2, 3. Miz retains. And he looks completely drunk by doing it. And then The Rock looks up. He says, oh well. Gets in the ring. Rock bottom. I mean, not rock bottom. Double A spine buster. And then gives him the people's elbow. And ends with The Rock standing tall. I didn't like that match. No, I didn't care for it. I liked the parts with The Rock, but overall that match was just boring. And Cena didn't make it. I knew Miz was trying to make it interesting, but Cena just seemed out of his element tonight, and I didn't like it. So, oh, my friend Izzy says sorry ass match. So, my verdict? Better than last year's WrestleMania. There were some very good matches on this card tonight. Triple H Undertaker was surprisingly a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Snooki actually looked very good out there. Cody Rhodes, Rey Mysterio, one of the best matches of the night. The backstage segments between The Rock and Stone Cold and The Rock and Pee Wee were very good entertainment. What else? It was a pretty good main event. The only two gripes I have is with the last match and the fact that Sheamus Daniel Bryan match got omitted for some reason. I don't know. Somebody tell me why it got omitted. But anyway, that was WrestleMania. And like I said, it was good, better than last year, but not the best. But still watchable. I'd recommend watching it. So I will see you tomorrow night for Raw. What will be the repercussions of what happened last night? What will John Cena do after he loses to The Miz? Is The Undertaker really okay? And how are we going to deal with fucking Michael Cole bragging that he beat Jerry the King Lawler? If you thought he was bad now, he's going to be insufferable now. So anyway, this is shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, and Joe, saying goodnight. Wrestle on. WrestleMania.